I got tired of being nice, so I took the game for ransom. Put the books down, grabbed 2 hammers. Thriller in Manila and the other Mike Jackson. What's happening? No jokes,
Yo. What's going on? It's your boy KMoE. Back again with another deep dive. This time, we're going to be talking about my song, Bad One, and my other song, Rockin. So let's get into it. Okay, so first things first, let's talk about this song, Bad One, and then we'll talk about Rockin after. So Bad One, it's the song by myself, produced by Sounds by Frank, and featuring Don Chi and T. Lee. So first off, Sounds by Frank, man, real cool dude. Back when I first started in 2019, really kind of getting out there and really just trying to pursue this thing. He was one of the people that from the very beginning was rocking with me, was supporting, and we always really wanted to try to link up and try to do something. So I finally got some of the other stuff that, some of the old catalog stuff that I wanted to get out and kind of just put out there first. And then took a look at his beat catalog online, just kind of went through, see what he had, and then kind of touched base with him and worked out something. And came across the beat for this. So I'm like, man, yeah, this is something hype. Kind of gave me like Money in the Grave, Drake kind of vibes. So wanted to make something a little bit more up-tempo, a little bit fun, just because I typically do like a lot of serious content, and wanted to kind of break it up a little bit and just kind of do something that was a lot more fun, right? So got this beat, really just kind of was thinking about it, and from the very beginning I knew that I wanted to have some features on it, because all of my music prior to now really was just me showcasing what I can do, right? So I wanted to just give it a shot and, have some of the people that I rock with and that I think is talented, on the track. You know what I mean? So I reached out to Don Chi and T. Lee. Don Chi is my cousin, really one of the reasons, one of the inspirations behind me doing music seriously. I've been doing music for a long time, just writing and kind of messing around, just not taking it serious. And I looked over and I saw my cuz really just putting in the work, really trying to do his best, to put his best foot out there and really just being courageous, very inspiring for me. So he was really the one of the catalysts to getting me over the edge to really just say, all right, well, I'm gonna go after it, I'm gonna try to do it. So of course, wanted to do something with him, and he had me as a feature on some of his tracks, and of course I had to return the favor. First, for me, in terms of, having him on one of my songs, but definitely won't be the last. And then T. Lee, met T. Lee through Don Chi, my cousin, so I just loved his energy. Younger cat, younger than me. A lot of people are younger than me, but younger than me. So like, I really just liked his energy, liked his flow, liked his vibe, liked his personality. And I was like, man, another person too, like that, just been rocking with me since day one. You know what I mean? Always showed me support. Always is hitting me up, DMing me, just kind of giving me words of inspiration to be better, and you know what I mean, just kind of really just uplifting me. So I'm like, man, I gotta have somebody like this in my corner. So I might hear all of this nonsense. Wow, just like gotta get them to settle down up there. Hold on one second. Hold on. Hey yo, chill out. All right, so yeah. T. Lee, that's my man's, so I had to get him on there, and that was that, right? So when you had those features, it really just kind of helps take a little bit of the pressure off, right? And again, I wanted this to be fun, so let's get in concept and inspiration, purpose behind this. So really, going into it, I really just, like I said, I wanted to make something fun, something up-tempo, not anything too serious, right? So my process for making music is always, I get the beat and then I listen to it, and whatever that beat tells me to do, whatever it tells me to say, that's what I do. I get my inspiration from the beat itself. I typically don't go into a beat with a preconceived notion or subject or whatever it is that I want to do. I let that beat rock, I vibe with it, and I let it tell me what I should put on it, right? And that's how my expression works 99% of the time. So yeah, so with this one, I let the beat rock, and there's kind of a long intro, right? So I really didn't feel that part first. I just got right when the beat dropped, and that's where I came up, you know, just kind of freestyling and doing some scatting and really just like, all right, you know, messing around. And then I came up with Bad One. Ain't no messing with the kid, I'm a bad one. I usually don't brag, but I can because I am one, right? So I just kind of got into that, and then just everything after that just kind of flowed and just kind of took me from there. So I came up with the hook first, and then after the hook, then I got into some of the lyrics, you know, for the verse. And the hook really just kind of set the tone, right? It just really just set the tone. So, all right, so getting into some of my favorite lyrics from the song, for me, one of the lines that I really like is I came up with no luck, no magic, I planned this, right? And really what that comes behind is like just kind of my beliefs about manifestation, right? I'm on this spiritual journey, and one of the things that has really become core to me is like the ability to manifest and meditate on the things that you want and go after the things you want and the desires. And that as long as you have these dreams, you have these visions of what you want your life to be and how you want things to kind of come about, you know, you stay focused on that thought, on those thoughts and that vision, and then you'll watch things come to pass. So that's why it may not come to pass in the time frame that you would like. So I mean, in my mind, I have a vision of where I want to be a year from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, what I want to accomplish over my life. And obviously it changes, and you may tweak things as you gain more experience, make more perspective, right? But it really just comes down to I have a vision of what I want, and when I really look back at some of the things that I've accomplished in my life, I just really look at like, okay, I had thought about, okay, I'm gonna do this, and then eventually I just worked my way to that and having exactly what it is that I had visioned myself to have. So I just really wanted to put that tidbit out there for people to like, look, no luck, no magic, I planned this. Like for anybody that is successful or whatever things that people come across and have on their own, you know, these are things people work for. Like this is not luck, this is not magic, this is hard work, this is people putting a concerted effort to go in and get things that they want, and that is possible. Like there's no overnight success, you just always are continually working, but people don't see that progress, right? So I just really wanted to put that line in there. No luck, no magic, I planned this, right? And then the other line that I really like that is in my verse is black gold skin, wonder why I keep tanning, right? And that's really just to show the confidence. Like one of the things, I've never really been self-conscious about being black or anything like that, but I wanted to really emphasize and stress that for the people that are, you know, black, African American, people of color, right, to just really embrace the skin you're in, and this goes for, you know, anybody. Embrace the skin that you're in, you know what I mean? But I really wanted to kind of just put that on there, just a little extra, you know what I mean? I don't know, that's my thing. So those were the lines that I like. Now, let me see here. I got some notes. All right, so for my brother, my cuz, Don Chi, one of the lines that he said, and I'm gonna have to look it up here. He said, less talking, more answers. Ain't about what's before, but what really comes after, right? So for me, I like that just because it's like, it's no nonsense, man. It's like, look, man, nobody's trying to hear any of that nonsense that you talking. We ain't trying to hear excuse. We ain't trying to hear none of that stuff. Less talking, more answers. It ain't about what's before, but it's about what comes after. So it's like not worrying about your past, you know what I mean? Yeah, man, so when he said that, bro, like that's what resonated. That's one of the things that resonated with me. He said a bunch of stuff in there too, but like that resonated with me just because it's like, man, you know what I mean? It ain't about what you done before. Nobody want to hear those excuses, you know what I mean? It ain't about what happened before. It's about what happening right now, what you doing. You know what I mean? Get out there and get that work. And lastly, like for the homie T. Lee, I really don't have a particular line that I like the most because I feel like he just floated. Perfect way to end the song is he just floated on that whole beat, you know what I mean, to sail us right on out of there, you know what I mean? So his whole just the way he kind of just floated on there and just smooth and like, I think it was perfect, man. So his whole verse, I mean, just the way that he put that together, man, I was thank you for doing that. You know what I mean? That really just, like I said, helped glide the beat right on out of there. So at the beginning of the song, I ended up having, like I said, it was that long pause that in the intro. There was just that long pause. And I'm like, man, I got to fill this in with something. So after the song really was already made, and after I was doing some mixing and all of that, I kind of got back into it. I'm like, okay, what can I do to fill this? Now, obviously, I thought I was just going to probably just do some talking on it myself. But I'm like, nah, I don't know if I'm going to do that. So it just came up to me like, bad one, like what fit the song? And I'm thinking to myself, like, man, if I could have, you know, that Ali mindset, that Tyson mindset, you know what I mean, when they was getting ready for a fight, or right after they beat somebody, the brakes off somebody, it was like, man, I'm a bad one, you know what I mean, y'all can't mess with me, that kind of vibe, right? So I'm like, all right, so I got to looking through some interviews and all of that, and really just kind of put some of those clips together, starting the track off, you know what I mean? And I thought it worked out great. So, all right, so look, couple lessons learned. Or at least the lessons, the takeaways that I want people to maybe take away from this song, or even the lessons and takeaways that I've taken away from this song and making it. So the first lesson is, you're a bad one, right? You just have to believe it. Like, you're a bad one. Like, don't let nobody tell you that there's nothing that you can't do, right? You're capable of anything. You can do anything that you put your mind to. And it's very cliche, but what I've noticed is a lot of these cliches are right and exact, right? It's a reason why they're so well spoken and well said, right? So you're a bad one, man. Act like one. Just listen to the song, get inspired, you know what I mean, and unleash your unique talents on the world, right? So that's lesson number one. Lesson number two, have fun. Have fun. Like, this was something that this was the type of song that I needed to make in order to kind of break myself out of this seriousness. Like, everything that I do on a day-to-day basis is like, it's like it has to be efficient to try to get me closer to the goals and aspirations that I have. And it makes life tend to be very serious. So it's like, man, have fun. Like, break it up a little bit. Step out of your norm. Like, just have fun. Don't be so serious, man. And then the third thing that I learned from this song, love who you are and don't wait for someone else's approval. Like, you're unique, right, in every sense of the word. So your perspective, just make sure that you love yourself, man. That's what it comes down to. So yeah, that's my deep dive into the song Bad One. You know what I mean? Now let's get into Rockin. All right, so with the song Rockin, the beat is made by Jacob Lethal. Had just kind of, I don't know, I think I was like scrolling YouTube or something, came across the beat, anything on YouTube, when I'm kind of searching for beats or whatever else, throw it into a little playlist, come back to it later. This was one that I thought was really dope. I actually made this song and wrote this song. I think I made it in like 2019 going into 2020. So it's kind of dated. I might be dating myself a little bit, but one of my goals is to kind of release everything that I put out. So, yeah, so it's like, all right, well, let's get to it, right? So, Rockin', beat by Jacob Lethal. Again, same concept in terms of how I came up with the song, the inspiration behind it. I just kind of heard the beat and the way it came on, and just kind of gave you that rock. And I started off with the hook again, and just kind of let it organically come out, right? Again, like, so one of the things with this song is I might have been trying too hard with this song. And what I mean by that is, at that time, I was like, I don't want to say I was trying to make a hit, because who ain't trying to make a hit? But I was trying to make something that maybe wasn't all the way true to me, right? So, yeah, it's kind of hard to explain, but I would just say that, like, it was something that, it was definitely a fun song that I wanted to make, but it might not have been like true to my core. I might have been trying to cater to a sound of what I think people may wanted to hear, just in certain parts of it, right? And the other part of this song too is, at the same time, I was just having fun. Like, a lot of the music that I write, I can break down just about every lyric and kind of relate it to an experience or something that I've seen, right? But in this song, there's a lot of just having fun, just kind of coming up with stuff, rhyme schemes, flows, that kind of thing. So yeah, highlights. So my favorite lyric that I wrote from this is, worked a 9 to 5, I was getting pissed off. Put in time, realized I was getting ripped off, right? And that's not to knock 9 to 5s, not at all, right? Because you got to do what you got to do, and the 9 to 5 is respectable, because at the end of the day, you just trying to provide a way for yourself, for your family, and sometimes the 9 to 5 is part of that equation. Sometimes it's something that you got to do. But really, that is just saying, like, there was a point in my life where it's like, man, I want to be able to do things on my own, to have my own, make my own, be my own entity, right? So that, and a lot of the driving force behind that is really just trying to have freedom, right? So we talk about freedom, financial freedom, time freedom, like those are really the things that I'm trying to search for. So that 9 to 5, when there's something that's regimented like that you have obligation to, you have responsibility for, it's like, you know, it kind of gets away of that time freedom. Like you don't have or you may not have the time to be able to take your kids to school in the morning, or, you know, be able to attend certain events, or, you know, that kind of thing. You know, really be able to maybe even focus on some of your hobbies and your goals and some of the other things that you like to, because, hey, you got to go to 9 to 5, handle your own business. Whereas where I feel like if you can set your life up and structure yourself and then become a mindset of being an entrepreneur and coming up with a product or something to be able to get yourself into a life where you have more time to do the things that you need to. Obviously, like, in this society, like, you got to work, you got to be able to pay the bills and be able to provide. So there's always that give and take. But when with a 9 to 5, they tell you when you need to be there and when you need to leave, right? There's really not much flexibility to that. And most of the time, you know, you got 1 to 3 shifts, right? You got your normal day shift, you got evening shift, and then night shift, right? So, like, it's just one of those things where if you can get to a point to where you're financially free, you kind of got all of your finances in order, you got things paid off, you're bringing in income passively or semi-passively from, you know, real estate or stocks, investments, dividends, a product that you sell, even owning your own business, maybe having some other people work under you, to where be able to give you that freedom, that flexibility to kind of just, you know, move around a little different, give you a little bit more time. So I think that was like a big driving force behind that line, and it was a turning point for me in the way that I thought. You know what I mean? I went to college, graduated, got a job, and it was just one of those things where, like, I never really truly saw myself working like at a place for like 30 years and saying that's it and retiring, right? Even when I got into it, I'm like, you know, I think I want to own my own business so that I can be able to have just a little bit more flexibility, right? And that's even before you get into some of the financial benefits of that, right? So that was my favorite line for that. Throughout the whole song, though, I'm kind of floating, right? It's just like, it's a rocking, you know what I mean? Like, it's just one of those things where I think I was really playing on like a flow pattern, flow scheme for that, you know what I mean? Big beard like Rick Ross, come with slick talk, hit a brick wall. You know what I mean? Just really kind of just keeping that kind of like flavor, you know what I mean? So, yeah. All right, so one of my biggest takeaways from the song and being able to create the song and all that, one of the biggest takeaways is don't force things. It's like I said, when I made this song, I kind of felt like I was trying to cater to a certain sound, trying to make something that people could rock to, right, dance to. And in that, when I listen back on it just, I know in my heart of hearts, you guys may not hear it, but I know in my heart of hearts, I feel like I forced it a little bit. Don't regret anything, because this is all learning opportunities for me, you know, just trying to develop a sound and like a voice of what I want to say. But overall, just like, don't force things, man. So don't force things in your life. That's not something that you should do. Sometimes we are forced to do things, but you shouldn't force your will upon things, man. Like, to try to please somebody else or something else or some other situation. Don't force things. All right, so that's lesson 1. So, and in that, like, throughout this experience, it really just kind of, in making this song, it didn't I had to use my imagination, right? Because I was trying to cater to what I think other people will want to hear, or at least my version of that. It allowed me to use my imagination and really not stick to those personal experiences so much. So what can also be seen as a curse that I mentioned before about trying to force things for somebody to hear, it was also a gift at the same time, because it allowed me to just kind of open up and just kind of be free. Like, all right, well, how can I just make this song and make it sound fly, right? What comes to mind? What is the imagination, right? So yeah, use your imagination. Yeah, so that's the deep dive into my 2 songs, Bad One and Rockin'. Go check those out, all streaming platforms, also on YouTube, all of that. If you guys got any questions, give me a shout, hit me up in the comments, DM, whatever you want to do. I'm happy to answer any questions or anything that may have sparked your attention from this video, man. Appreciate y'all for rocking with me. It's your boy KMoE. I'll check y'all later. Yart.
Every day, every night, we rockin', yeah, we rockin'. We rockin',